Hello, everyone. I'm Hewitt Pagenstecker, founder of Amygdala Media, and you are tuning in to the Urban Network Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. By the way, this podcast coincides with a monthly networking and referral group that takes place on Zoom on the third Thursday of each month at 5:30. So if you're interested in attending one of our networking events, go to urbannetwork.biz to register. Now, our guest today is a hilarious comedian and local business owner, Tyrone Collins. Tyrone just won Willamette Week's Portland's Funniest Five, and he owns a business called Dirty Angel Entertainment with his amazingly talented wife, Courtenay Collins, also known as DJ Wildchild. I should say that Tyrone's stage name is the Real Hyjinx, so you could find a lot of this stuff online from that name. They produce some of the most exciting and hilarious shows around Portland, one of which is coming up, the 5th annual Northwest Black Comedy Festival. Will be happening this weekend. So I'm looking forward to it, and I'll include a link and more information about that in the description of this podcast. Tyrone, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me, man. Just sitting here snowed in like everybody else, trying to make the best of the situation.
Yeah. Hey, we're coming off of Valentine's Day. Did you and Courtenay have a nice day together?
We didn't do anything because, again, snowed in. Got her a card. We hung out, but there was really, what could we do? Couldn't go nowhere. Couldn't, so.
Well, hey, it's more about the people, right? And that scenario.
Right.
And you two, besides being just an obvious, just amazing couple, are a power couple.
Thank you.
With Dirty Angel Entertainment.
Thank you.
I've been attending your shows regularly, this last year, and you guys bring so much excitement, so much talent, so much passion to your business. It's truly inspiring.
Thank you.
So, this is actually something that, we've talked a pretty decent amount, but I actually don't know too much about how you got your start in comedy. So I'm really curious, how did you get your start in stand-up? How old were you? What city were you in? And how was that journey for you?
I was actually here in Portland, and I wasn't even looking to do comedy. I had my sister-in-law was going to school at Portland State, and she was doing this film project that she had to do, and she had to do a mock newscast, and she needed a commercial in between. So she was like, "Yo, would you mind just doing something like a funny little commercial or something?" So it was so crazy. So I dressed up like a slave, and I did a Crisco commercial. It's just probably tacky and tasteless, but it was, just something I did. So after that, her husband at the time knew a producer up in Seattle that was producing shows. And so he saw me do that skit, and he was like, "Yo, would you want to do some stand-up?" And I was like, "Well, I've never done stand-up before, but, I'll fucking try it." So my brother-in-law got me on this show. I did my first paid show before I even did an open mic. I had never done an open mic before I done my first paid gig. So my brother-in-law gets me on this show up in Seattle, and I opened up for Rodney Perry, And at the time, probably a lot of people probably didn't know who he was, but I knew who Rodney Perry was just because I was in comedy and stuff. So I got to open up for him. It was my first time ever doing comedy. It was on a boat in Seattle.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, and it was cool, and I was just nervous because I was like, "Look, I'm on a boat, so if I'm not funny, there's nowhere to go. I'm stuck on this boat with these fucking people till we dog, and I'm just gonna have to keep seeing people come by and be like, dude, you wasn't funny, dude, you wasn't funny." So, but before I went on the boat and did that, my wife, her family is from New York. So what I did is I practiced it in front of them, in the living room, and I did my set in front of them. And they were going to be brutal. These are New Yorkers that's been to the Apollo and then booed everybody from, from Whoop Whoop, so they had no problem with booing. So I did it in front of them. They're like, "All right, you're funny. You got a shot. So the next week I went on the boat and I did it, and had an awesome set. Like just awesome. Rodney Perry came up to me, asked me how long I've been doing comedy. I was like, this is my first show. He was like, wow, you're fucking nice. He's like, you're seasoned. You got, stick with it. So that's how I did my first comedy. And then when I got back to Portland, and at the time, I didn't know nothing about the comedy game. I didn't know how it went. I didn't know you were going to be going to open mics. I didn't know anything about comedy. I'm thinking like, okay, I'm good. So I came back to Portland and I did an open mic. I did my first open mic, and it's weird because I did my first open mic at Harvey's Comedy Club downtown, which I now am partnered up with. But I did my downtown, and I was doing these blazer jokes, and I have never got the light so quick in my life. Portland do not like you talking about their Portland Trailblazers.
We love our Trailblazers here. That's for
yeah.
sure.
So it gave me the light. So after that, I stopped doing comedy for like 6 to 8 weeks. I did for a pretty length of time, a couple months, because I thought when you bombed, that was the end of your career. Like I didn't have no idea. Like so then when I started getting into it a little bit more, I hooked up with veteran comedians, and they were like, "You bombed once? Oh shit, you're great. If that's just once, like you're gonna bomb so many goddamn times your career. That's like, dude, get back up there and keep doing. Like you're gonna bomb. It comes with the territory.
Yeah.
So I had no idea, and so I got back into it, and then everything else took place. I was at the point when I was I was loving it. We were going to open mic, excuse me, but I got tired of waiting 3 hours to do 3 minutes of comedy, so we started our own open mic. We started giving 7 minutes, a little bit more time, stretch your legs. So
is that how
that's what I had to do.
Is that how Dirty Angel Entertainment was formed?
Yeah, Dirty Angel was, my wife always wanted to do something in entertainment, and like she had already had a vision before we even thought about doing the stuff that we're doing now. Like she had already had her company name and what she wanted to do and all of that. So I was already doing comedy, and I had another manager at the time. Somebody else was managing me. But after a while, I was just noticing like I'm doing a lot of work, but I'm not getting a lot of pay. Like I'm doing a lot of shows, hosting and traveling and going everywhere and doing all this, but I'm receiving very little money. But to do this managing me and throwing all these functions is walking out with shit tons of money. You know what I'm saying? So after a while, my wife was like, well, why don't I manage you? And I was like, well, shit, you can't do no worse than the dude I'm fucking with now. So yeah. So she took over, and that's when, Dirty Angel was already a thing, but I kind of like, come on, let's do this. I believed in it. So that's what made her start Dirty Angel. Like I said, she always wanted to do it. And she just wanted to do an event company, like to host events and weddings and stuff like that. That's what she wanted to do, parties, because she loves to DJ. So
I like how you're representing your wife with your T-shirt right now, DJ Wildchild. You guys have some awesome merchandise, that's for sure.
We got to get some more, man. I'll hook you up as soon as we get some more order.
Nice.
But yeah, man. So yeah, and that's how it started, man. And from there, we just kept building and doing it. And every time somebody told us we couldn't do something, we did it. We figured a way to get it done. Like when they told us there was no way we were going to do a Black comedy festival here in Portland, we did it. Now we're going on our 5th year.
Nice. Yeah, yeah, that's amazing. The Northwest Black Comedy Festival. Like, how did the first year go?
The first year when we wanted to do it, like, we literally just invited comics. Like I just reached out to every Black comic I knew across the U.S. that I have worked with, or we did an open mic, or they came into town and they did our open mic, and we just kept in contact. I just reached out to him. I was like, yo, man, we want to do a Black comedy festival. I would really love if you would come and be a part of it. This is our first one. And like our first years, we didn't even do submission fees. We just let people be a part of it. And we just ate whatever the cost was. Whatever it cost, we figured it out. We got it done. We had a few donators and sponsors that gave us money, but a lot of it was just me and her, you know what I'm saying? And at the time I was working, there was weeks I was giving my whole paycheck to the festival because we had to get stuff. We needed stuff done. So the first year it was amazing because it was still 3 sold out nights, 2 sold out nights at 2 different venues. You know, it was amazing. Our first year we did it at the Fun House and the Ford Food and Drink. They're like right across from each other. I know you know where the Fun House is.
I know, that's where I did my first open mic.
Yeah, and so Ford Food and Drink is across the street, catty corner. That coffee cafe across the street on the corner, like right across from what's name. So we did our first ones there. You know, we partnered up with them, and to this day, I think Ford Food and Drink told us that was their best money making night that they've had since they had been open. I mean, that place was packed. When I tell you, I have to send you, if I ever get a chance to show you pictures, I'll show you pictures, but that place was packed. So then the second year, you know, we was like, okay, we got to keep it going. So the second year we partnered up with, we wanted to keep it, I mean, the whole part of having a Black Comedy Festival was bringing attention to Black people in Portland and the Black entertainment that was here. So our second year we did it at the Elks Lodge, which is it's on the Black it's in the northeast Portland. It's on, I guess you can say, the Black part of town. So we wanted to do it there, and you know, it's during Black History Month. So I was like, okay, that's perfect. We're doing a Black Comedy Festival at a Black-owned venue in the Black side of town. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you know, the second year it was good. It wasn't great, but it was good. We had a great turnout. We had some I think the second or the third year. No, the second year was when we had, oh my God, Las Vegas came down here and just killed it. Like their lineups just came down here and just I mean, AK, Tabloid, fucking Donnie Johnson, what's my other dude's name? But they just came down here and destroyed it. So, I mean, second year was dope. Third year, same thing, same venue, but we ran into some issues because the venue got a little greedy and wanted more money than they got last year because they saw what we did in the turnout. So, you know, instead of catching us at the beginning and negotiating it, and we could have did something, they hit me 2 weeks before the festival was go down. I was like, we need $2,100 to use the building. And I was like, wow, my festival's in like a week. So my festival's like a week and a half away and they wanted $2,100. Like just like, well, if you can't give us a deposit, we're gonna just rent the building out to somebody else that does have the money. So I'm like, wow. So we had, you know, we had people flying in and everything. So we had to break down and give them the $2,100. I wasn't happy about it, but the show had to go on. So, you know, we gave them the $2,100 and I was like, this is whack. So the fourth year, I had started doing the open mic at Harvey's, you know, and I got that gig. Chris was running, it was a cat named Chris was running the open mic, but he just got tired of it and didn't want to do it no more. He thought it was too much work trying to promote it and all that. So I went to them. I was like, yo, I'll do it. So I went to Harvey's. Was like, yo, man, I'll run y'all's open mic and whoop, whoop, and we'll promote it. I was like, I said, my only thing is I want the main room. I'm not doing an open mic out here in your bar. Like, I'm not. I was like, we're better than that. We're going to get
go big or go
in.
home, right?
Yeah. So they was like, okay. They gave us the big room. Thursday, they gave us Thursday night after the main show. We were in the big room and they agreed to it. Now, the first week we were doing it for free. I wasn't charging them nothing to run their open mic. I just wanted to prove to them that we could get people in there and promote it. And, we could put on a good show and people would come and see it, no matter whether it was an open mic or a showcase. So for the first month, we ran their open mic for free. And after the month, I went and talked to him. I was like, yo, so, you like your numbers? Everything's good? He was like, yeah, cool. So they started paying me. They put me on their payroll. So I was officially working for Harvey's. You know what I'm saying? So Yeah, so when I started doing their open mic for them, when our festival came around again, I was like, I'm gonna ask them, can we do the festival here? I was like, the worst thing they can say is no. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
it's better
Like,
than the continuing at the Elks Lodge, who
right,
tried to rip you off last minute. You don't need
right.
surprises like that
Plus,
in business.
plus every place we went, we had to do everything. We had to worry about the food, we had to worry about the tickets. For the first 2 years of our festival, we hand delivered tickets. I put my phone number on the flyer. If you called my phone, I drove to your house and brought you tickets for the festival. So that's what we did. And we had it catered every year. Every year we had a soul food buffet, fried chicken, cornbread, red beans and rice, collard greens. So every year we paid for it to have have somebody come in and cook. Our third year, our cook had to bail on us because they got a bigger gig, which I get it because we were only paying, you know what I'm saying? We were only paying like a couple $100 for what they were doing for, something small. So I understood. So the third year, I literally had to cook all the food. I cooked all the food for 4 fucking days.
Are you a cook? Do you cook some
No,
great?
I'm not a cook, but I know how to cook.
Yeah.
Like I can get down in
So
the kitchen.
you like grew up cooking probably like a decent amount. Like
My mom taught us. Well, that's one thing I can say my mom did. She taught us. She had 3 boys and 1 daughter. So she taught us how to take care of ourselves so we would never have to depend on anybody. Like she taught us how to do laundry, cook, and just shit like that. That you should know that a lot of men don't know. I'm not saying all men, but a lot of men don't know.
yeah, my cooking's okay. I'm like kind of decent.
I can tell you, I can give you a couple recipes, man. I can
Please,
cook it
yeah.
like a champ. I'll shoot yourself. But yeah,
So
man, that's how the festival. I'm sorry, go ahead.
yeah, so that's how the festival came to be. I'm wondering like how all right, so how is that changing this year, right? Obviously, we're in the middle of a
Yeah,
pandemic and like people might be more conscious about socially distancing, but you want to provide like a really fun show that people can enjoy
yeah.
while feeling safe. So how are you and Courtenay going about that?
Well, this year, like I said, we didn't want to cancel. Like we didn't want to not do the festival. After last year, we said we have to do something. Even if it's not as big as last year, we had to do something. So what we did is we've actually teamed up with a streaming service, IMC, um, independent movie company. They're a streaming service that's on Google and Apple. You can get their app at the Google Store and the Apple Store. So we're teaming up with them and we're streaming this thing worldwide this year.
Oh yeah.
So there won't be no audience, or the only audience that'll be in the building when we're streaming will be comedians that are performing. And that's that night. Like we're not going to have extra comedians. Like if you're not performing that night, you're not going to just be able to sit up in there and hang out. Well, we might be able to, because if we just have comedians in there, we can spread it out where nobody will be on top of each other. Because we're not going to have that many comedians this year. Like last year, we had I want to say close to 80 to 90 comedians over 4 days. So
Are you streaming it from Harvey's this year?
yeah, we were going to do it from East Side Bar and Grill because we didn't think Harvey's would open up, because like why open this big building and we can't, so we didn't think we're going to be able to do it with Harvey's, but we've been in contact with them over the last couple of days, and I think we will be streaming it live from Harvey's. So it'll be good to have that backdrop, and the Harvey stage is a wonderful, iconic stage.
Yeah.
So it'll be beautiful to have that in the backdrop and have all of that up.
Yeah, no, I need to get my tickets. I need to download the app. So people need to download an app and then get tickets to be able to view the festival. It sounds like.
So it'll be free. All you have to do is get on there and watch, but we will have our link. So if you want to donate,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? You can. This year, we know, we're gonna lose money this year with the festival, and that's fine. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather lose money than and keep it going than to call it quits and not do it anymore. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, the
So
world now more than ever needs comedy. It needs to support local artists, people of color. Just like this is what the world needs, and it's so
right,
awesome that you and Courtenay are keeping this thing going. Even when you're losing money or when
right.
it's like all these challenges that the world today is presenting. So
And and the
respect.
thing is, us as comedians, this is really hurting our art form right now because we're
Mhm.
used to being out in public on stages and around,
Yeah, like
this is
three
really
times a
killing.
night, right? Like,
Right. So we we knew it was going to be some kind of a issue with the corona and everything, but we said we couldn't, like I said, we couldn't not do it. So we just had to, us as comedians, we just have to find other avenues to stay relevant during this time. You know what I'm saying? So we figure we're still going to do it. We'll stream it. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people, and the thing is, we want to do it. We're going to stream it. We're going to do it the showcases earlier this year. You know what I'm saying? So the people on the East Coast can see them at a decent time. Because we do a show at 8 o'clock, people on the East Coast is 11 o'clock. I'm not trying to get people to stay up to 3 o'clock in the morning to see comedy.
yeah.
So we figure this year we'll do it at like, it'd be the first showcase would be like from 6 to 7, which is like from 9 to 10. And then the next one would be from like 7:30 to 8:30, which is 10:30 to 11:30 out there. So, you know what I'm saying? We're just trying to adjust. We want everybody to see this and everybody to be a part of this. But it'll be, it'll be able to be re-seen later, but I want everybody to see it live, be there and it's going to be amazing.
Yeah. You have been so just like persistent and resilient this year, 2020. You threw a comedy show at Eastside Bar and Grill, which just started back up. And I think it's that drive that you need, and the sacrifices such as losing money some years that will make you successful in business, in art,
Right.
like, as a comedian. What can you say about like what it takes to, or what's worked for you in terms of um, you know going for goals and achieving goals in comedy and business?
Well, I mean, in business, we as comedians, first off, we got to remember that we're an asset. So when you're trying to do shows and you're trying to get things accomplished with venues, you have to go in and show them that you're an asset. Like you're going to make them money, because that's all venues want to know, that they're going to make money at the end of the day. They don't care if you're funny. They don't care how many followers you got. They don't give a fuck about none of that. All they care about at the end of the day is the money that you're going to make them. So you gotta
show that you can
enter.
put butts in seats, right?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And no, they really don't care about budget. They care about the bottom dollar. They don't care if 3 people are in there and they buy $800 worth of food. Fuck it, they got their money.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so that's the thing. That's what they care about, is their bottom dollar. And I get it. And we as comics gotta stop going in here and we're selling ourselves short too a lot of time. You know what I'm saying? You got to remember, you're an asset. Just because they're a venue and they're a business, don't mean that they need you as much as you need them.
Yeah. Every comedian is like an entrepreneur, like in their own right.
Yeah,
They have them themselves, or the product, their entertainment. They're something that people are paying to watch and to take 5 to 45 minutes of their time doing.
right.
Um,
So that's what we got. We got to remember. Like, we're a business. You're a walking LLC.
Definitely. And by the way, how can people learn more about your business, like Dirty Angel Entertainment? Follow you
Um,
on social media.
yeah, they can follow us. We're on Facebook. You can follow us on Facebook at Dirty Angel Entertainment LLC. You can also follow our other pages on Facebook. We have Northwest Black Comedy Festival, the Real Comedy Spot 2.0, DJ Wildchild. All these are Facebook pages. The Real Hyjinx. For Black Dad podcast, which is coming out soon. We'll have an episode coming up.
Oh yeah, sorry. You
Yeah,
have
we're
so
working
much
on that.
going on. I was like getting your intro together, and I had all these bullet points, but I realized I totally
Yeah.
forgot to
Oh, it's
mention
all good, man.
four black dads. Yeah. When do you think people can expect the first episode?
It's coming soon. We just finished. The thing is, we wanted to put out a quality product.
Yeah.
So we wanted to record a couple times to make sure we got the format down and everything down before we just do something on the internet just because we could.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So we've actually shot like three episodes, and we're probably gonna be putting at least 2 of those out here soon. We just wanted to get it, we just want a good product. We don't want to just throw something out because we can. We want to make sure it's good quality, and that's going to keep people coming back to revisit it if it's good quality. So we just want to make sure we put out the best quality possible.
Well, that's awesome that you guys are investing so much into that like initial episode and your format overall. There's so many podcasts. Everyone's got a podcast, so it's definitely making sure that yours stands out. But just like the premise of your podcast seems like pretty unique to what I've seen. Can you talk about your podcast and what type of content?
Yeah, our podcast is called For Black Dads. It's For Black Dads for Black Dads. I don't know if you know. It's what's the word I'm looking for?
It's like oh my god, I'm like I know.
Yeah, it's like four. It could be four, the number 4, or FOR, four Black Dads. And it's basically you got 4 Black comedians, all fathers, married in different stages of life. Me, married 22 years, going on 23 years, 4 kids, pretty much grown except for one. Ike, another funny comedian, super funny guy, married like I think 5 to 7 years, has 7 kids.
Wow.
Then we have G Wade, married like I think 4 to 6 years, and he has 6 kids. And then we have Eric Island, who is divorced and has 2 kids, 3 daughters and a grandbaby. So we're just talking about things that you really wouldn't expect Black dads to talk about, and we cover a lot of topics. We talk about everything from parenting to fuck these kids to just everything, Our last podcast we actually did, because I think people think we're joking, like you can actually see Ike's kids in the video, the whole podcast, and sitting there with us on the couch and talking and everything. Like we're actually dads, man. Like we do this shit, man. And I think it's a big stigma that Black men aren't involved in the parenting part. I mean, growing up, it was a stigma, like, the women raised the kids, the men went out and we worked. It was always a stigma. So we want to change that. We help raise our kids. Like, it's totally different. In my household with my wife, it was different. I was the homebody. She was the worker. She went out and made the good money, and I stayed at home with the kids. And I had no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? But, that's the things we talk about on our podcast. Because, I think people, like I said, people get this stigma of what a Black father is, and we just want to change that. We're different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're good people. Just because we smoke weed or drink don't mean we're evil. We're good parents. We've raised all of our kids. None of them has went to jail, died, or anything. So I think we're doing a good job.
Yeah, it sounds like educational, inspirational, but also hilarious, because I've seen you all do comedy and you guys kill it like all the time. So that's just like the
crazy.
In the room. I just cannot wait to see the first episode. And
the chemistry is so dope.
Because you've known them for years, right? Like,
well, it's so crazy because we've known each other through, it's like 6 degrees of separation that we knew each other. Me and G, I've known G since he was 15 years old. He was my neighbor when me and my wife first got married and was having our first kid. He was our neighbor, and we had known him. He was like 14, 15 when I met him. He used to hang with his family and everything. So, but we lost contact. He went to the Army and he went off. And then when he came back to comedy, I was like, cool. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I knew him. I knew Ike through where I went and got my haircut. I would go get my haircut at Champions Barber Shop, Champions Barber Institute over in Northeast Portland. Shout out to Champions, dope barbershop and barber school. And I knew the owner, and I would go there, and he would tell me, hey, there's this guy here that wants to do comedy, and I know you do comedy. So that's how me and Ike met. We met just because he wanted to do comedy, and we were running the open mic. We just kept in contact. And now, he's one of our young guns and doing his thing, as well as G Wade also is one of Dirty Angel's young guns, which is a wonderful thing to be. And actually, you are too coming up. So don't worry, we got your showcase coming. We'll talk about that too. But so that's how we knew. And Eric, he's known my wife since childhood. They were both born here in Portland, so they've known each other for a long time. So it's like we each knew each other through like just 6 degrees of separation. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so crazy. Like I knew some people that Ike knew. I knew hella people that Eric knew, like done hung with them, and like it was just weird. So when we all came together and we talked about like, yo, we knew each other by like, we're just 6 degrees of fucking separation. And now we're here doing this podcast together. And it's fun and it's amazing. They are a wonderful group of people to work with.
Well, hey, when that first episode comes out, I'll definitely link it in the description below on YouTube.
I got you, man. I'm gonna send it to you. I'll send you the link. It's coming.
Yeah. Well, hey, I think that's like the extent of the questions I planned on asking. Tyrone,
okay,
aka Hyjinx, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Is there anything else you want to say to anyone listening? Or
yeah, you guys keep your eyes open for Dirty Angel Entertainment. As soon as this city opens back up, we'll be doing showcases everywhere. And one of our showcases you will get to see is the Young Guns Showcase. Excuse me. The Young Guns is a showcase Dirty Angel does every year. We take the newest comedians on the scene and we give them a little mini tour. We give them like 5 or 6 showcases, paid. They're out of town. They're not all here. And it gives them a chance to travel and know what it's like to be the life of a comedian, be able to perform outside. And as I was saying, Hewitt is one of our up and coming young guns who you will see in the Young Gun Showcase. As soon as we open back up, we'll get him on there. Actually, it's you, Lucas. Jokes. It's Lucas, Blade. Who else do we got as our young guns this year? Oh, TC. TC is fucking hilarious. If you've never watched TC, please. We got Brent Lowry, who will be one of our young guns, even though he's a pretty seasoned vet, but he's gunning. So we're looking forward to doing that. And actually, just keep an eye out for Dirty Angel Entertainment, everything that we're doing, open mic showcases. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and just stay abreast of everything that we're doing, because as soon as this world opens back up, we're going to be doing it big, I promise you.
Yep. And Northwest Black Comedy Festival is happening this weekend too.
This weekend, Northwest Black Comedy Festival, we will have that link up so you can see it, sit from the comfort of your own home and watch everything. So stay tuned for that. This is our 5th one, and we're looking forward to it. Shout out to everybody that's coming to be a part of it and just flying into town to do it. And it's going to be fun, man. It's going to be fucking amazing, I promise.
Awesome. Well, Tyrone, this was an awesome conversation. Just thank you so much for coming on the podcast today.
Thank you for having me, man. Thank you for having me. This is a wonderful podcast. You keep doing your thing. I'm rooting for you. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of your biggest fans. I like what you do. I like your drive. I like your ambition. So, and if there's anything ever that me or Dirty Angel Entertainment can do to help you out, please reach out to us, man. We got you.
Will do. I appreciate that, man.
It's nothing, homie. It's nothing.
Yeah. All right. And hey, thanks everyone for listening. If you want to attend upcoming networking events, go to urbannetwork.biz and have a great day.